Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV, and we're here for the preview for round 16 of the FIA Formula One World Championship in 2021. Yes, it is the Turkish Grand Prix. Now, there are some big news stories going on around about here, but as usual, we've got 7 races left, I think, including this one as well. Let's set up 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. Yep, 7 races. 2 points the difference between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton in the title race, and loads of complications that could happen during this weekend. But I've got Yank talking smack with me. Cotton McLaren fan, how are you, mate?
I'm doing good. We're still organizing stuff, so I'm going to have my camera off so that we can still get some stuff done in the background. But yeah, no, doing good. Hopefully, as Adam says, Lando losing out is unfortunate, but he's still rather young, and I mean, he's younger than I am, which absolutely blows my mind.
I mean, honestly, last time out, as we all know, Lando was doing such a great job, but unfortunately, I think he was actually getting
McLaren wasn't strong enough.
I don't.
McLaren wasn't strong enough in telling him you need to pit for inters, get out.
Yeah.
Because Hamilton basically thought the same exact thing. He's like, "No, I'm good. I can finish on the slicks." And McLaren and Mercedes went, "No, get your ass in the pits. We're going on inters."
Yeah, but I think also, to be honest, Connor, I think Hamilton has that more experience to then realise, okay, it's not going to work because he's been in those situations before.
Yeah.
2008 in Belgium is another one. Brazil in 2008 was another one where he had the title on the line as well. But even he had to admit he had to pit for ints on that time. So he had the experience to know that wasn't going to work. Lando doesn't have the experience.
Yeah, because I remember in the post race interview, Hamilton even went up to Norris and said, like, "Did you say stay on slicks?" And he's like, "Yeah, I thought I was going to be fine." And Hamilton basically went, "Yeah, no, I thought the exact same thing, but my pit crew forced me to come in and said, no, you're not. We're not going to let you stay out." And McLaren kind of asked Norris what he wanted to do instead of just saying, "Come in. It's too wet. Come in." So I think it's a more experienced pit crew and concerns to like that sort of situation because McLaren's just now getting back into being one of the top teams in the past 2 years. They don't have the experience of like when they're in that top position, being forceful, saying, "We know better. You need to come in."
Yeah, absolutely.
Where Mercedes has been doing this for a long time now, with Max and Rosberg being the top of the team, top of the table.
Of course. Norris is better than Max.
Hands down. He's better than Leclerc as well.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Lewis is the. I'm not going to say no. Lewis is.
I will.
Lewis is the GOAT. He's definitely the GOAT. That's the end of it. I wonder who's getting the seat at Alfa Romeo. That's we're gonna wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. I'll probably do a drivers market stream at some point if I get a chance to about that. But there's obviously seats still available. But the big news story of them all from this weekend, and I'm just gonna is that.
So I've seen the rumors. There's 2 drivers that are rumored to get the Alpha seat, and both are kind of a shock to me.
Yeah. There is Hamilton 10-place grid penalty. So if I'm just going to share it on because I think I shared it on my Twitter. I shared it on my Twitter. Let's have a look.
Do you think Kubica gets moved up, or do you think he gets kept as a reserve?
Kubica.
Yeah, because he's a reserve driver, and he just drove for Raikkonen when he was out. So it could be interesting. They could possibly move an F2 driver into the reserve seat and have Kubica go for a year. You could do half and half even, where you have maybe Kubica do half the races and you have an F2 driver come up and do the other half. So you get some seasoning without really having to, for sure, be the one in charge of that second seat. Get some race experience, kind of not really need to contend, and then that F2 driver can come in the second year and basically be all out by himself and prove himself then. So I think that's what they should have done with Tsunoda.
Yeah, so if you see, just quickly, I'll show you on my community tab page. I did show it there. Lewis Hamilton will take a 7th-place grid penalty for exceeding the allocation of his internal combustion engine, which is only one part of 6 parts of the power unit. You only get a free allocation of 3 for each for the season. So he will have to take a 4th internal combustion engine,
which is normal, I think. Honestly, a lot of teams end up taking a 4th part, and they just time it to.
You say that, but then Mercedes for the last so many years haven't been able.
Needed to.
Mercedes the last few years have not needed to. So
they've been so far ahead in the driver's standings.
Well, no, even 2018 they didn't need to either. So 2018 they didn't need to. 2019 they didn't need to. But I mean 2020 obviously, but because they only had 17 races. But there you go. Big up, Sal. Yeah, mate. Yeah, mate. How are you, man? I'm excited as I might be off to Silverstone next year for the British Grand Prix. Matt is confirmed.
I wouldn't confirm him as the winner. We can just look at last race.
Adam, it's a 10-place grid penalty. It's not being banned for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and for me, I look at it as if you're going to pick a place to get a grid penalty, you pick the Turkish Grand Prix because it's such an overtaking. It's easy to overtake in this course.
You've got a chance to overtake him down the back straight.
He could easily go pole, go back to 10th, and within a dozen laps, like I said with Bottas and Sainz, be up into the top 10, and Hamilton in the top 5 within a dozen laps because he's got the faster car than most of the field in front of him.
That's the thing.
I think it's between Verstappen, Ricciardo, and Norris. I think are going to be the 3 fighting for first.
Yeah, because that's the other thing as well. Bottas is, and you just said this now. Bottas has not been able to told he can't use his 4th power unit, which means he'll have to take a penalty as well, and
he'll have to be in the back of the grid.
He'll be right at the back of the grid, so he had to take a whole power unit. So
him and Sainz will be starting 19th and 20th.
At least on like Verstappen's penalty last weekend, Hamilton's only 10 places. Now, for me, as much as like people say this is racing, this is Formula 1, this is saying loopholes and everything, I still stand at the fact that Max Verstappen should be taking a 3-place grid penalty this weekend because he hasn't been punished properly. I think he hasn't been punished for causing nearly a dangerous accident, which without the halo would have killed Lewis Hamilton.
And I think without the halo, we could possibly have seen Verstappen get killed at Silverstone. So there's words to be said and there's ideas to be flown back and forth. That's a 150G crash. Without the halo, that could be sent apart too.
I wouldn't say so exactly. I wouldn't say so exactly with that one because I've seen it before. Maybe with that one, the halo, the halo's more for when it's on when things are coming on top of you.
Yeah, like we saw with Grosjean last year.
Yeah, like we saw. Yeah, like we saw with that. Like we saw with just Hamilton. Like we saw with Alonso in 2018. So
I think we're just very blessed to have the halo in general.
Yeah, but if you're coming in like if you're getting taken out of the race like it was there. Usually, I've seen so many drivers fly off.
Yeah,
all over the years, and they usually go even faster back in the V10 era, and they still survive. So
I forgot about that. That's another driver that we could see join the ranks of Alfa Romeo. But I think Lando's my favorite driver, so I'm going to say Lando because I honestly think it's between Lando and George, to be honest. The reason I don't put Max is because Max is in one of the fastest 2 cars on the entire grid, and he's still been not able to pull away when Hamilton's made lots of mistakes. Leclerc's not consistent enough in my eyes.
Yeah.
But George has been outperforming his Williams all year and most of last year. And Lando's in a McLaren that's been the 4th or 5th best car on the grid and was able to take P3 in the constructors when it was supposed to be the pink Mercedes last year getting P3, and is now. It took him till what? It took him till which race was it that he finally wasn't in the top 10 at the end of the race, and that was because he got crashed out by Bottas being a moron.
Yeah.
So if we're looking at it, I really think it's between George and Lando, and for me, it's Lando because he's been such a good performer.
Am I the only one that can't stand? No, I can't stand him either, mate.
It's Karen Horner.
mate, I didn't used to mind him too much back in the day, but now I just realise he is an actual prick.
He is a dickhead.
I'm saying he's a prick. I don't care if anyone likes him or dislikes him, right?
I love Zach Brown.
I love
love
it how
Zach
you
Brown.
sit there, go do 2 weeks of trying to get a guy in trouble, right? Throw his name through the dirt all over the media, right? And then come out and say, "Oh, it's nothing personal."
I love
and then when Max does it, it's just a racing incident. Right.
Can I ask you a follow-up question to that? Who is your favorite team boss besides Toto Wolff?
Besides Toto Wolff.
If you had to go to another team and say, "This is my favorite team director. This is my favorite head of the team," because I know mine. I love Zach Brown. Zach Brown is one of the funniest directors on the grid. When Sainz left for Ferrari last year, they did the whole Italian like thank you and good luck, and he said a river dirty.
Yeah.
Mine's Gunther Steiner.
Gunther Steiner for me. Yeah. Him on that Drive to Survive is funny. Would you like an umbrella?
Absolute jokes.
No, there's like cramp my fucking style.
One of my moments of the year is him giving that spinning top to Mazepin.
Oh no, that was funny. Oh,
he gave the spinning top to Mazepin as a gift.
Now you can stop spinning our car.
You can stop spinning our car. Because I think team bosses that are part of like those below bottom of the grid teams like Alpha, Williams, Haas, they're not expected to compete much, so they can kind of just have fun. They can have a little bit more fun because their mind's not completely on.
But I also think that Gunther Steiner as well he's not been like he hasn't done too badly as a team boss for me. It's just the fact he's been so limited. He's been
part of a really bad Haas.
This kid was yelling at my school, super Max, beat that fate.
Oh, that's disgusting.
He got expelled. Good. Right? Good. And then hopefully they bring his parents in as well.
They probably did.
I hope they did. And I hope they bloody taught them. Because I know there's only one place he's got that from.
His parents.
There's only one place he's got that from. Yeah. His parents. Simple as that.
All right. Follow up, getting off of this. Follow-up question. If you had to pick a driver that's not British to be your favorite driver, who would be your favorite driver? Because I know mine. I have my second and third favorite drivers. Neither of them are British.
I would say Leclerc.
Mine are Gasly and Vettel.
I didn't mind Vettel. I've never minded Vettel at all, actually.
Vettel's been great this year. Even Hamilton's given him a tip of his cap because have you seen Vettel's helmet for this race?
Yeah.
It's a Save the Oceans helmet where it's got a bunch of aquatic animals and stuff on it.
Yeah. I haven't got a problem with Vettel at all, and neither have our Gasly.
Gasly's the reason I hate Ocon. Because I saw the documentary on their rivalry and what's gone on between them two, and me liking Gasly has led to me hating Ocon.
But anyway, I wanted to obviously building up to this weekend, there's 7 races left. Qatar's now on the calendar as well, but it's getting to like serious like crunch time now. There's not a lot that I'm sure that now that every time that Hamilton and Verstappen go out on that track, they know they have to try and finish first or second.
Yep, it has to be.
Keep it going.
You cannot finish off the podium.
Yeah. Now this is where for me is the experience. For me, this is where the experience for me will come into it, because I feel that when it comes down to it, and you need to take risks to get to first or second, or to take risks to try and beat the rival. I think Hamilton will know when to take the risk and when not to,
because he's been doing it for years.
Yeah, because I feel that Verstappen is just going to be like I'm just going to do it as same as every other race. I'm just
he always has been his entire career.
Yeah, he's just going to keep doing it like the same. You can't. This is the thing. They might say that, and Hamilton has said that in the past, that he'll do it like the same as he's done every other race, but they can't. you've seen so many times where there's gaps where they usually go down, and they're just like, I'll take it. I'll buy my time with this. So I feel that this, in terms of that, is probably where I think will be decided. It's whoever now makes the least mistakes and
definitely. And I think
who know
I
when
think
to take the
Verstappen.
risks.
I'm predicting Verstappen has to take another penalty because of needing another unit at some point, and it's going to absolutely destroy his championship. I will answer Adam's question here. My dream podium right now would probably be, and this is going to hurt Steven, but it's probably my 3 favorite drivers: Norris in first, Gasly in second, and Vettel in third.
That doesn't hurt me. I've got a problem with that. As long as
And then
Hamilton's fourth.
probably Hamilton in fourth. Yeah.
Okay, I can live with that.
I'll take Hamilton in fourth because I don't really have much against Hamilton. I think he's a good driver. I think he's gotten I think there are moments where he's had bad moments where they are his fault, but I think
Every driver has those.
Everybody has bad moments, and I think he gets too much of a bad rap.
I don't get why he gets a bad rep though. I honestly don't get it. I honestly don't get it. I think people try and find fault in people too many times when they've been so good, and they can't just appreciate of the achievements they've done.
Yeah, I think he gets too much hate for the few things he does wrong.
I think even I mean, like, someone's just like trying to criticize him about like he's showing a picture of him and his dog on a boat. Like,
his dogs are
taking
adorable.
some time out.
His dogs are adorable.
And the guy's sitting there on the criticizing him, saying, "Oh, look at the people you paid out to take that picture. Like the boat you've paid out millions of pounds in the boat you paid out to go
he
out."
earned that money.
So what? He's had the right in time. He's got the right in. He's got every right to do so.
If you earn the money, then you have full right to spend it however you want. The only people I think that don't deserve to be in Formula One next year are Shitnoda and Mazepin. I don't think either of them have done enough to prove that they deserve to be in Formula One another year. And of course, I'll take that into I think I'll use that to try and get us into the Alfa Romeo talks because I have to head off in 9 minutes because I got to get ready to go to the airport. But I'll quickly
go on.
So rumors right now is it's between 3 drivers technically because you have Callum Ilott, who's technically still a part of Alfa Romeo Racing. I love him. I think he deserves that seat.
Is that Ilott in IndyCar right now?
Yeah, he's an IndyCar, but they could easily, because he still is technically part of Alfa Romeo, he could easily be brought over. So it's currently going to be between Callum Ilott, Oscar Piastri, and Guan Yu Zhou.
Oh no! Hang on a minute. Autosport confirming that Zhou is the out-and-out favourite to get the seat for Alfa Romeo next season.
Who is?
Guan Yu Zhou.
He is the favorite, but apparently there's rumors on Piastri and Ilott.
And motorsportweek.com saying that he is set for final F1 seat. So he's set to take it.
I love Guan Yu Zhou. I think he's a great driver.
He's had good experience there as well.
Yeah, I think my favorite 4 drivers are literally the 3 that are going for Alfa Romeo and then Dan Ticktum. I'm going to get hate probably for it because he's a bit of an ass, but I'm a big Dan Ticktum fan. And I've looked this up, Stephen, for you. David Cotard says, Yuki Tsunoda is wasting his time in Formula One and can't understand why the driver was retained for the next season. He's wasting a spot that should be taken by somebody else.
Coulthard outraged. So Coulthard outraged by Tsunoda's statements.
Apparently, even Tsunoda says that he's surprised that he's being retained.
So AlphaTauri contracts of both drivers. This is not strange, but the rookie for the AlphaTauri extends the contracts for both drivers. This is not strange at all. I'm just going to share the actual column, the articles. Give me a minute. I'm going to share
okay.
Hang on. I'm just going to share this quickly. So yeah, but for the rookie, Yuki Tsunoda apparently is. The Japanese driver was surprised about the extension, and Coulthard did not have a good word to say about that fact. Coulthard furious. The young Japanese driver reacted with shock to his contract extension, showing he was not impressed impressed with his own performance in his debut season. The Japanese man thanked the team nonetheless and
I don't think he
apologized for the
deserves it at all.
money he had cost because of his crashes.
Yeah,
I think
Coulthard is spot on.
Yeah, Coulthard's
If I were him, I would buy a plane ticket now with an early bird discount.
interlocutor Tom Clarkson takes. Oh no! So speaking on Channel 4, Coulthard reacted with astonishment and said, "What planet is he from? I think he should pack his little bag and go home. This is not a voice of a racing driver."
Yeah, I think
Ouch.
you can't just out and out say I'm surprised I'm being retained because I kept crashing. That's not really what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And I don't think because he did crash a lot, I honestly think Coulthard is right that he does not deserve to be in Formula One. If you're going to be that bad, I get where they're saying, oh, his honesty is great, but his attitude, especially the first half of the year with how much he was cursing and he's blaming his own team.
Every driver that we've known is used that our drivers are supposed to be an F1, and this is where people don't get how F1 drivers are supposed to be. Everyone says that someone say they go on there and they say, oh, they're arrogant, they're big headed. Well, every F1 driver do think they're arrogant and big headed. Because every F1 driver, as soon as that visor comes
they need
down,
to be.
Every driver that you meet, when their visor comes down, they are the most big-headed, arrogant bastards on this planet. Because
doesn't matter who it is.
They all think they're the best. They all think they're better than everyone.
You have to think you're the best to be the best.
Yeah, when Gasly puts his helmet down,
he thinks he's the top one on the grid.
Or Norris puts his helmet down, he thinks he's better than Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
He thinks he's better than Michael Schumacher.
Tsunoda cannot come into this going, I'm surprised I'm here. If you're shocked that you're being retained, you should not be retained. Especially with how bad he's been this year. And I feel like this is a golden rule in Formula One, and he broke it multiple times. You do not blame your own team for your own shortcomings.
He should also
the amount of times he's blamed AlphaTauri.
Get a flight ticket home whilst they're cheap.
I don't get it. I don't get how he's been extended. His attitude is poor. His driving, his racecraft is poor. His awareness is poor. His pace is poor. Even when he's been able to stay, together and stay, throughout a whole race, his pace is terrible. He'll qualify and he's been out. How many times, Steven, has he been out in Q3 this year? How many times has he not even gotten to Q3? He hasn't even got through Q1 half the time.
Mm.
And if he gets out of Q1,
I'm not denying he's not been great. He's not been great. But for me, if it was me, I said I may not have been able to produce at the level I thought I should, at that level I should be. Yeah. But I know I have that in me, and I'm willing to work.
Yeah, you go. I was not as good as I should have been, but wait for me next year.
Yeah, that's what he should have been.
You cannot say I'm surprised to be retained because I crashed a lot.
And I think what he's done, and I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt here because he's a young new driver. If it was an experienced driver, I get your point. For me,
so
as a
Norris,
new driver,
so is Russell.
I know, but I want to just sort of we're all young, we all make mistakes, right? Right, we all make mistakes when we're young. Trust me, I make loads of mistakes. I make mistakes every goddamn fucking day. I'm not gonna lie. But
my biggest mistake actually got me a scholarship. That was one of the funniest things ever. One of my biggest mistakes I made when playing got me a scholarship because I was playing in Junior Olympics, and I had a college coach in the stands with my parents watching me. And we had been talking, and he said, if you perform well, I'm going to give you a spot on my team and a scholarship to come play. Yeah. And I aired my very first shot, right? My very first shot of the day. I aired it over the goal, and it hit the back gate 20 feet behind the goal. And I went, I've just absolutely blown my shot. And he goes, you showed how much strength you have by hitting that gate 20 feet back. We're offering you a scholarship.
Yeah, I mean,
my biggest mistake ended up being my biggest triumph.
Yeah, I mean, but to be fair though, I want to, and this is what I want to say is that I feel what he's done, he's trying maybe to come out and say that he's not been at the best that he's been this season, and though I'm shocked that I'm getting extended because of that,
I'm happy to be here.
I think maybe what's come out of context is that he said that, and I think that because news articles like that, you'll read that and you think that's outrageous. But if you probably listen to the whole interview, he's probably gone on and said, "But I'm ready to go in next season and work hard and be better." Right?
Yeah, I think he
I
just
do feel he's
said
gone
the
to
right.
I think he's gone to the team and said he is willing to improve and get better. I just feel that he hasn't labelled it in the right way. He hasn't said it in the right way, which is
I think
obviously pissed off a lot of people.
This will be my last thing. I got to head out because I got to get to the airport. I think he had the right intention, but he needs to pick his words better. Because if he doesn't pick his words better, he's going to continue to get picked
That's
apart.
exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Thank you, mate, for having me. I got to head out. Always good to see you, mate. Glad to see that you're home and healthy.
Cheers, mate. Take care. Bye bye. Yes, so Anna talks about, let's be honest, everyone wants Mick Schumacher to succeed. Everyone wants Mick Schumacher to succeed. I mean, I think everyone even more wants Mick Schumacher to succeed after that documentary. And obviously, being a Schumacher fan myself, watching that was a bit of a hard one to watch at the end there because you feel so much for Mick and his family. And imagine if he was talking to his dad about Formula One, like what he could learn. Just it's sad. And do you know what? We're quite lucky to get that. I will say one thing about that documentary. We are very lucky to get that documentary in the end because, and I'll tell you for why, because their family are a very private family. Schumacher made a very, very good point of keeping family private away from the F1. He very, very, very consciously separated the two to protect his family from the media bustle and the stardom, the fandom, and everything. So that's why when the accident happened, everyone still says to this day, is he in a coma? Is he got out of his coma still? He's been out of his coma for frigging ages, for years, but no one hardly knows because they keep things very private to them and they only offer little statements here and there of his condition. So doing that was probably a big thing for them to let their fans know of how he is. Only giving away certain details, not everything, but just enough to say he's here, but he's not the same anymore. He's not there. He's not Schumacher that we all know. So, yeah, that was hard to watch, to be honest. But, yeah, for me, though, going back to the Grand Prix, yeah, as I said, for the Grand Prix itself, I would expect it. I would expect it to be. Let me think. I would expect Verstappen to be up there. Whether Hamilton will have the pace to come back up for the field and challenge him, I don't know. I do think Hamilton will get pole. If I look at the first two practice sessions, he was very quick in both sessions, which is a good sign. It's always a good sign. Don't forget, it's also where Hamilton won his championship last season. So I would expect Hamilton to go out and win that Grand Prix this season. I would expect that. But I would expect that to go out. What am I saying? Go out and get that pole position to then get second place. Unless something mad happens. I don't think it's going to rain this weekend. So I do think it's going to be a very simple task for Hamilton to drop to place and then come back up through the field. Whether Bottas can help out by doing the same thing, I don't know. Would be nice, especially in terms of the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull, I think, are very strong in that sense. It's going to be difficult to stop Red Bull, I think, in the Teams' Championship, to be honest. I do rate Perez better than Bottas right now. After I watched that Russia performance, I couldn't believe what I saw from Bottas. It was poor. It was so poor. It was unreal. But So it's going to be difficult to stop Red Bull in that sense with 7 races left. I still think Hamilton can do it, and I've seen him do it before, and he'll in an inferior car. He did it in Hungary 2018, inferior car. Belgium 2018, inferior car. Same as he did it in Italy and Singapore, inferior car. Won both races. He can do it in an inferior car, and like I said before, it will come down to mistakes, and I do feel that Max will be the one that will make the most mistakes because of lack of experience. This is a learning curve for Max Verstappen anyway. As much as he wants to take it in his stride, it is still a massive thing to go into a championship fight with someone who's well renowned of winning championships and winning races like this. To go into battle with him and beat him and win your own championship. It was a struggle for Hamilton as well. Look how it took him the last corner on the last lap, right, of the last Grand Prix to win the championship, right, his first one. So it's incredibly difficult, and I feel over the next 2 or 3 races, when we get even closer to the last race, because I think it's going to the last race. It's going to the last race, absolutely. But what I will do is I'll quickly show a poll, because I did do a poll of 7 races left. Who everyone thinks is going to win the championship? So let me try and find that Twitter poll. There you go. I'm going to find that Twitter poll, and then I'm going to quickly give you my prediction. And then if there's no more questions, I'm going to wrap it up for the night, because I'm tired and I want to go to bed because my painkillers are knocking me out. So there we go. We've had 25 votes on this one today. So make sure you go and like this tweet as well. Make sure you also go and like the stream. Share the stream as well. Hit the subscribe button. It's really, really important you do that. So Sir Lewis Hamilton versus Max Verstappen for the 2021 FIA Formula 1 Championship. Gap between them is only 2 points with only 7 races to go. Who will be this season's world champion? Out of 25 votes, 44% say Lewis Hamilton. 56% say Max Verstappen. That's very surprising for me. I find that very surprising, right? If it's down to how the cars fare between each other, I might get that to a certain point. But then again, like I said, Hamilton's won in an inferior car. He's done it before. So it's very surprising to me. I think that's not really... I'm not going to say whether it's biased or anything like that. But you never know. But look. Anyway, it's difficult to say, but I'm going to give you my prediction for the top 3 for qualifying and in the race, and I'm going to wrap it up. So, top 3 for qualifying. Well, qualifying result, obviously, before then the starting grid, which means the penalties get applied. So Hamilton will get pole for me, which means we'll start 11th, but he'll get pole. Right? This is the qualifying result, so this is before the penalties are applied. Pole for him, for Hamilton. Max Verstappen will get second, probably, so that means we'll probably get pole. And then Bottas, I think, third. Then I think Norris fourth, Perez fifth, so on, which means Bottas will start at the back of the grid, but no doubt he'll probably start in the pit lane. Do you know what? He might not even qualify to save tyres, but you never know. So Adam thinks race 1 Max, 2 Lewis, 3 Lando. Okay. What do you think about the qualifying then? Okay. For the race though, Hamilton will get at least second. So I'll say with Hamilton second. Verstappen to win the race, which will mean there will be 5 points. So now it will jump from, so Verstappen will take the lead by 5 points, or 6 if he gets fastest lap, and then Orlando third. But I do think probably Bottas will get time to, if he ain't in the top 10. If he ain't in the top 10, I would actually say he would jump into the pit lane at the last minute and put a set of softs on, sorry, to take away the pole position. The fastest lap, sorry. Lewis, Max, I don't know why Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly's probably a big bet. It's a bit of a wild one to me. I would say it's gonna be either you're not considering the McLarens or the Ferraris who are in their own battle for third. So yeah, I think the Pierre Gasly one's a bit more wild on that one. It's a bit wild. But anyway, we're gonna wrap it up there because I am knackered, as you can tell. So I'm running out of things to say. Right. Anyway, make sure, as always, to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, please. It's really, really important. You need to be wild sometimes. Hey, I'm doing a Grand Prix preview now. Good, mate. I would love to join, but knackered. I'm knackered. So yeah, make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the share button as well. Share it across your socials, and we're back for this. We're back tomorrow at 12:40 for the qualifying watch along. 12:45, I believe, for the qualifying watch along. So make sure you go and tune into that, mate. Make sure you tune into that, guys, and we're back then. And then 3 p.m. also tomorrow, we've got a special hot off the press show. It's usually a Thursday or a Wednesday, but I'm doing a special one because the Newcastle bid just happened. So I want to talk about that for a little bit. So I thought I'd talk about that for now. So we'll have 100% mags come on for that as well. So make sure you tune into that. But until then, everyone stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.